I'm Anthony Clyne, and today we are joined by Juliana Peloche.
Hi, Anthony.
We've got Peter Rui in Auckland.
Anthony, hi Tim.
We've got David Jaksa in Melbourne.
Hi, Anthony.
And Rob Chittenden, also in Melbourne.
Hi, Anthony, everyone.
And Luciano Peloche.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so today we've got a big theme about working from home, and we've got a special guest, Juliana, and but about working from home, David. Routines in home, which everybody's working from home. We all have to get good at it. I was talking to my friend today, and he says, I'm getting really good at working from home. I'm at 20%. And I said, well, is that really good? But routines at home in this changing environment, Dave, you're the expert. How long have you been working in your home for?
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. I've been, I suppose, fortunate enough for the last 7 years, I've been working a fair bit of time, probably 30 to 40% of my week is spent working from home. And I thought I'd just go through some of the tips that I found have worked really well for myself. There's three things I wanted to go through. Firstly is routine. I know these things sound quite simple, but basic things like setting your alarm. So setting up your day just the same way that you would go to work. Setting up your alarm, getting dressed. And what I find is even changing your work commute, and in this environment that we're in, we can still go for a walk. So go for a walk and separate yourself from your workplace. I think it's a really important thing. And then also think about, what time you'll have lunch and what time you'll finish. Quite often when I started working from home, there were days that I would start in my pajamas, work through the whole day, and then find out that it was 6 p.m. at night and I hadn't even left the kitchen table because I'd worked a 12-hour day. So routine is really important. The next thing, quite basic, is set goals. So even the night before, think of 3 achievable things that you want to hit for the next day, and be kind to yourself. But also, I suppose for those employers out there, how are you touching base with your team? So have you set up some regular meetings where you can set some of those goals? Because we're obviously quite productive when we're not being disturbed, but also we do want to have targets to hit. So both for employers and employers, think about goals that you want to hit and some regular communication points. And my final point, which I think is probably the most important, may not be easy in all households, but be really keen to separate yourself and make sure that your work area is in fact a defined workspace. Once again, if you make it your kitchen table, your kids will come and play with you, or there won't be a clear definition between what's work time and what is personal time. So if you can, in these times, set up a clear defined work area. So they're the things that I've found have worked for me quite well for the past few years.
Fantastic, Dave. And it's a lot of experience there, and a lot of it just sounds common sense, but yet it is so important to have that routine, and it's easy to fall into a trap of not following that routine.
Absolutely.
So as we all of our consultants are set up to work together on video, everybody in the world is getting good at this. What else should we be doing to work more effectively online? Juliana, have you got some tips for us?
I think this is basically about social presence. So how you make yourself actually present in the place you are working. So we can see that people have been doing lots of delivery online. And when we talk about social presence, it's not only to be there, to be talking to someone through the screen, but to show that you really care for the person you were interacting, for the person who you were connecting with. So I think we've been actually asked to adapt really quickly through these changes, and there are new things coming up every day. So what I would like to share with you is just some tips and the reasons why we need social presence. And first thing is, like, it's amazing because you're all doing this quite well. It's just eyes to eyes. When you were talking to, even though you were talking to the machine, it's just like the person feels that you were talking to them. So it might be a little bit cliche, but it's just show that you care for the person. You are actually considering the presence of the person that you're talking to. Something else is just like smile. When we talk, it's not to be stiff or, you know, just be a little bit more informal. So yeah, you create a genuine kind of interaction. Every now and then tell a joke. So yeah, that's something else that I've been doing with my students, and it shows that you are just as you were in the classroom. So it's the online delivery is just the same as if I were in my classroom. But as we've been joking, everyone knows everybody's background, a little bit of their houses nowadays. If we don't use this kind of technology, that you guys have a background. So I've been talking to some people, and we see the double beds in the background. They were like, "Oh my gosh, that's quite different." But anyways,
Yeah.
and some of the things that I think that really includes the working place that you guys have is just to avoid misunderstanding. So instead of having this picture and aesthetic way of speaking to someone, it's just you show your facial expression, you show the way you were looking at it, so there is no misunderstanding of, oh, what does the person mean by that? You know, it's just you read the person through the screen as well. So yeah, so it's just like a way of creating real interactions and increase motivation for people to participate. I mean, I was really excited when Luciano asked me to join you guys, because I think this is something that we are getting better at every day. And it creates a sense of community. So you all from TXM, like creating this community of conversations and interactions that are really amazing, and
right.
Inviting other people to be part of it is just, it helps us in this isolation period. Yeah, so I think it's really a new thing that we are learning every day, but we can get better every day, and listening to each other's tips and reasons why we are doing this kind of thing is really important.
That's great, and I find that so much. I'm so happy that maybe there's an outcome of this event will be the lack of reliance on PowerPoint, and I will be so happy when we can look people in the eye and talk without a critical mass of people just reverting back to PowerPoint, but actually being present and talking to people and focusing is going to be a great outcome. And but we do need multiple forms of media and mediums, and so some people like to see and be interpersonal, and but other people do like to touch and feel, and have got that process, and other people like to hear it and hear how the learning is transferred. But to reinforce the visuals, Rob, what are some of the tips you've been learning in replacing PowerPoint to support our personal character?
Yeah, well, thank you, Anthony. So over the weekend, we did a fair bit of TV last week, and I thought, well, how do I get better at it? And how do I go get some advice on how to make my Zoom calls look a little bit more entertaining and a little bit more interesting? Because showing screens and all that, we can all do that sort of stuff, but how do we make it a little bit more exciting? So I thought I'd ask some experts around, and when you're at home isolating with the family, who are your experts? It's your children. So when I talked about putting overlays onto Zoom, they go, Dad, that's so old. We're doing it already. So they were able to show me how to put overlays over screens. So there's a little bit of technology in the background here to make a virtual camera, and I'm doing this over the top of Zoom. So it's able to get those sessions text to come up over the top. And I'm able to put inlay photos in of a topic, say around 5S, getting good visual controls in place and having those sorts of things there. Doing a transition to another one. So here's another photo of doing 5S on the screen with racks and stuff on the floor being arranged in an orderly manner. So it is an easy skill to learn and get that happening in real time. And one last photo, just sorting waste out there. So I'm able to do a few things that make a good presentation look a little bit better, and to take away that boringness of just talking to a screen. So it can be quite interactive in time. I'll just go back through the photos on the way back through. So you can make good use of the time by learning a new skill. So I've learned something new over the weekend. So I'll share a little bit more of this as we go forward. So that's what you can do when you spend a bit of time talking to your experts in your house.
That's brilliant, and I do love the personalisation of the social presence online and the support, Rob. I look forward to being able to do that, and I need you to show me how to do it.
Yeah, well, we can even bring our live chats up onto the screen as well. So as people comment in the comments below, they can appear on the screen. So we can get very interactive with this sort of technology.
That'd be fantastic, and I look forward to that. Well, that's all for today's show. It's been a really I've learned a lot on today's show. So thank you very much to everybody who's participated. So especially Juliana, our special guest. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, and David for your experience, and Rob, and then Peter. Tomorrow you're going to show us about or explain visual dashboards when working remotely.
Yeah, so for me, it's just we've been talking about this for a number of days, but we'll have something to actually present tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be something which would mean looking at what Rob's been doing, just adding an actual purpose to all of those things that we can actually do, and as well as what Dave was going on about as well. So we'll have that to present and available for both of you.
Well, thank you for participating and watching this live production. Remember to comment on our LinkedIn page and email us at txmtv@txm.com. I'm Anthony Clyne, and thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers.